welcome to Roma Theory as Roma are linked with Eric Dier. Please, wherever you are up there, make this be fake news. Please, wherever you are, descend over here and save us from Eric Dier. Yes, don't do it. Please don't do it. We'll get into this today. I mean, it's more complicated than just don't do it. I think if I had to balance things out, negative and positive, I can only find one positive, the rest are all negatives. And we'll delve into this today, because we've been linked with Tottenham's finest, Eric Dier. We've been linked with him this morning, coming from calciomercato.com. Calciomercato.com is weird, because they are those sources which try to anticipate big journalists, to kind of make their credibility skyrocket, but then 50% of chances they don't get these rumors correct. So it really is a hit or miss. I mean, just reading at this rumor, I want to laugh and I want to cry at the same time. Basically, Calciomercato is saying that Mourinho wants Eric Dier, and obviously in January we will improve a few parts of our team. One of them will definitely be a defender, because the defender never came this summer when we sold Ibanez. So regardless of who will be, we will get a defender. Calciomercato.com says that Mourinho has pointed his finger and kind of chosen Eric Dier as his favourite one. Now, let's not forget that during his Tottenham experience, Eric Dier was kind of Mourinho's soldier. He was kind of the Brian Cristante at Roma. He's that player which Mourinho always used. So I can link back and trace this interest back to when they were both at Tottenham. And somebody who watches Serie A football and Premier League football week in and week out. So I know that Mourinho liked Dier when he was at Tottenham. So it makes sense. But obviously, do we want him? Are we in a position where we really want to sign Eric Dier? I mean, it is no surprise that he has been a terrible player in these past few seasons. He was a midfielder and then transitioned to defence, and then, oh Lord, he committed mistakes. He's one of those players which has been brought in a different position at the wrong time, because Tottenham were obviously living a very tough moment before Ange came. And they transitioned him to defence and he just wasn't good at it. He was the Harry Maguire of Tottenham in defence. So I don't understand this interest. Why are we interested in a player who only has bad records in these past few years at Tottenham? Why are we interested? Biggest thing is, why are we interested in a Tottenham Hotspur reject? I mean, he's one of their rejects. And that's kind of sums it up. Obviously, a lot of the signings which we completed this summer, a lot of the signings that we completed in general over these past seasons, are players who don't fit in teams because obviously they're less expensive. Part of this is because fitness isn't amazing. But, he's clearly been cut out of the Tottenham team. I mean, Postecoglou came, completely revolutionised Tottenham. They're sitting top of the Premier League. It is no surprise that Dier isn't getting minutes, and it's no surprise that he might leave. And, Mourinho has shown his interest. There are a lot of teams interested in Dier, I've read. I know Sporting Lisbon is another one interested in him. But so in terms of form, in terms of player he is, what will he bring to this team? I look at it in terms of what he's done in these past months. What can he bring? We will, without a doubt, buy a defender in January. But going from Ibanez, who was young, fast, had good defensive capabilities, to Dier, who isn't young anymore, who isn't that fast, and who's terrible at defending, in my opinion, is a big downfall. And look, the defense is the section to improve the most, because our defense, at time of speaking, looks like our weakest position. Our attack looks great. We're scoring goals galore. Midfield looks good. Midfield has a lot of different positions covered. Squad depth has definitely been improved, especially if all of these players are fit, which is complicated. We do have a vast selection of midfielders. When you look at our defence, and you look at it now, Smalling's injured, Llorente's injured, Cristante, who's our midfielder, who needs to play in defence. That's poor squad depth. So we have to buy a defender without a doubt. But it's one of those, again, it's one of those positions and replacements which I would rather we don't rush this. I'd rather we take more time and buy a good, solid, young player who, number one, can prove himself in this team and have a lot of potentials. And second of all, in terms of finances, getting Eric Dier in, you also need to look at it financially wise. I mean, you buy Eric Dier. Who will buy Eric Dier from you in later generations and years for more money than what you bought him? It's impossible because of his age. So it's one of those deals which makes absolutely no sense. I can see it happen because, as I said before, Jose, I remember they got along very well at Tottenham, but definitely, in my opinion, don't bring him in. I know we've been linked with the likes of Sole this summer, who's young defender, needs to prove himself. That's the profile which I want to see Roma interested in. If we keep on signing these players, we will never vastly improve. We will never have a better team than past seasons. And most importantly, by buying these players who aren't valued anything right now, it's poor for your finances and it's poor for your philosophy of football. Philosophy shouldn't be buying Eric Dier. Philosophy should be buying a young defender to grow, plant the seed, start, make him into a hypothetical beast. Not everybody turns into a beast. And then keep him or resell him for 60 times the amount of money you bought him for. The big example, once again, which I'm looking to, is what Napoli did with Kim Min-jae. Bought him from Fenerbahce, spent 10 million on him, won the league, one of the best defenders in the league, had his achievements done with him, and then sold him for 60 times the amount they bought him for. That's what we need to do. We can't buy Eric Dier. I mean, come on. I mean, I'll go in defence if you need somebody. The only positive thing, because again, I think it would be wrong to fully kind of judge this on a negative basis. There is one positive, and this positive is an interesting positive, but it is a positive. If somebody would have told a Roma fan 4 years ago, I'm going to buy Chris Smalling in defence, a Roma fan would probably say the same things that I am saying in this video, and a Roma fan will probably go, why the hell did we buy Chris Smalling? This Eric Dier potential signing is, it's like a reflection of the Smalling signing. Premier League reject. Age is roughly the same. Maybe Dier's a bit younger, but I'm not sure on that. Dier was is a Tottenham scrap. Smalling was a Man United scrap. Smalling sought for a new experience, came here, one of the best defenders in the league so far. Last year, the year before that, the year he came, he's always been a great defender. He's been carried away by the English media who targeted him. He's been brought into a new world and reality of football with less pressures, less attention. And look at Smalling. I mean, he started this season badly because of injuries and poor performances, but until May 2023 of this season, every single one of us would have considered Smalling top 3 most vital players in our team. And that's the thing which I see. But again, the fact that Smalling was a good signing doesn't mean that Dier is going to be a good signing. The fact that Smalling has been a good signing shouldn't mean that we need to copy the same exact operations, because football teams evolve. And again, Smalling was not brought in by Thiago Pinto, and Thiago Pinto can be said that yes, he's great at doing some deals, but he's terrible at doing other deals. He doesn't have the same eye as the general director, which brought Smalling in had. So again, it's complicated. It's more complicated than just no, because just like Smalling, he could have his chances. He has his little English individuals in this team who can orientate him well. You look at Smalling, you look at Tammy, you look at players who came from the Premier League, you look at Romelu, you look at Christensen. He can have foundations to rely on in this team, but overall, no, it's a no for me. I'm not the manager. If Mourinho wants him, and if Mourinho is the one who's pushing for this, like the press has and that article has described, if Mourinho has in fact said, I need a defender in January, get me Eric Dier, then that should be the case. Because the manager needs to get the players he wants. Overall, when you look at the sustainability of the deal, it's not going to be a good one. Because just, the reasons we listed before. How many years is he going to play? What's the value we're going to... I think you look at Ibanez, right? I want that kind of a move. Ibanez came from Atalanta, no big money spent, had good seasons at Roma apart from derby catastrophes, and then we sold him for what was it, 40 million? That's making a profit, and that's more intelligent, in my opinion. And if it is really the case that, the Fredkins are really paying attention to a sustainability program, then I will never believe in the Eric Dier rumors. But in terms of defenders I would want, if I had to pick one defender and bring him in, considering that he shouldn't necessarily be a starting defender, because I think starting defenders, we've got Mancini, we've got Smalling, we've got Llorente, who can be a starting defender, we've got Ndika, who can be a starting defender. It'd be good to have another starting defender just because of, experience and quality. But it doesn't necessarily need to be a starting defender. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go with... the dream is to have somebody, I'm not saying him because obviously it won't happen, but somebody along the lines of Scalvini from Atalanta. I absolutely love that guy. He's so good. I'm not saying we need to buy Scalvini because it won't happen, but in terms of profile, I want somebody like him. If I had to pick one realistic signing, then I'd probably buy somebody like Skurs from Torino. He's an interesting player. He can be a starting defender. He can be a replacement. He's physical. He's very good. Yeah, these kind of identities. That's definitely my pick. But yeah, if the manager wants him, the manager gets him. But another thing, which I should say is, as I already said in this video, he could have an opportunity, and that opportunity could be well exploited, and Dier follows Smalling's path and becomes one of the Serie A's greatest defenders. I don't know. Not necessarily can happen. I'm not saying it can't, but what are the chances? He's not been playing football. He's not playing football at time of speaking. Tottenham living life. Without Eric Dier, he's a Tottenham reject. We don't necessarily need him. Final judgment, in my opinion, is don't do it. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I know a lot of you here follow Premier League football week in and week out. Have been following Premier League football. So yeah, if you've got any comments, if you think he can have his chance, if you wouldn't do it, if you think he's a terrible player and all of that, don't forget to let me know in the comments. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're getting closer to 10,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this, click the red button down below. And if you've already done it, get your friends and family to subscribe. I want 100 likes in this video. If you don't want Eric Dier, smash the like button. And yeah, talk to you very, very soon. See you out. Take care.